Alright, so what we want to do now is we want to be able to click on edit and have a modal drop down. Right now it does nothing. So we need to implement that inside of the view, well, inside of the contacts template, I guess, which will have pretty much the same functionality as add contact, except all this will be filled in with the clicked on users or clicked on contacts information. Alright, so let's go to contacts.php and we need to find the edit link, which is right here. And there's a few things we need to do to this link for it to open a modal. First of all, we need to add the data reveal ID attribute. So data reveal ID, and that's going to equal edit modal. Now, since we're going to be repeating, we have a loop, we can't have every edit link have the same ID, or else it'll always open just the first contact. So what we need to do is dynamically name the ID, edit modal, and then the ID of the contact. All right, so John Doe or Doan is has the ID of 1, so this will be edit modal 1. It'll have that ID. Next will be edit modal 2. All right, so they're all different so that it knows what we want or who we want. All right, so the way we do that is right after this edit modal, we're just going to say php echo contact ID, and that'll add whatever the ID is onto that ID. All right, so I think that's actually no, I want to add one more attribute just so that we can bring in the ID from this link into the modal. And so what I'm going to do is have a new data attribute, so data contact ID, and that's going to equal this same thing, this PHP echo contact ID. So I want to stick that in there. That way we can access it inside of the modal. So that's our link. Now right after the edit link, actually we'll stay in the list item. So let me just put this on a new line. And alright. So now in here we can put the div. So we want div ID, and I want the ID to be the same as up here. We want the edit modal, and then we want to tack on the contact ID. So copy that. Alright, so that's the ID. Next I want to add another data attribute, and I'm going to use this again to pass in the ID. So I'm going to call this data CID for contact ID, and we're going to set that to the contact ID. Okay, and we want to add a class to this div as well, and the class is reveal modal, and also going to add the class edit modal without the ID. And then finally we just want to tack on data reveal. Alright, so that's our div. Let's close it. Alright, so when we click on this link, this div will open. So we want to put the edit form in here. And the edit form will be identical to the add form, except it'll be filled in. So let's grab, what am I doing? Let me just browse to the directory here. Alright, so I'm going to open up Actually, no, we don't want add contact. We just want the index page. That's where the add contact form is. You can see here we have it in the div add modal. So I want to copy everything in that. So basically the whole form and the H2. So we'll copy that and go back to contacts and paste that inside of the edit div. We just want to change. We want to change this ID to edit contact. All right, and then what we want to do is we want to fill these in with the values that are already in the database. And we did the query up here. All right, so we have this contacts array to deal with, so we can use that. And we're already in the for each loop, which started right here. All right, so let's see, first name. We just want to stick in value. And we'll say PHP echo contact first name. Okay, so that puts that value in there. Let's just copy this. And we'll do it for last name. Okay, email address. Phone. Group. And we want to change these values. So family, friends, and business. Alright, so we want the correct one to be selected, so we're going to have to create a variable that will, because when you do a list and you want the option to be selected, you just can type that in. Alright, you can just say selected. But we want to say if the database value is whatever family, then we want it to echo selected. Alright, so I'm going to put a variable here. So I'm going to say PHP echo selected. And we want to put this on all of them. Alright, and then up here, actually we'll do it right above the select. Okay, we're going to open up some PHP tags. And we're going to say if, actually, you know what, this isn't going to work because we don't have a loop here, so we're actually going to have to do it in line. Alright, so we'll have to do it in each one here. So I'm going to say if, what was it, contact group is equal to family, then I just want to echo selected. Alright, so we want to put this in each one and then just change the name of the group we're looking for. Okay, so this one will be friends, and this one will be business. Alright, so that takes care of that. Next, address 1. I'm just going to copy one of these values. Alright, change this to address 1. Okay, now we have address 2. City. Okay, we have state. Now what I'm actually going to do is I want to create a PHP array of states and then echo them out using a for each loop. So let's actually get rid of this. We're going to get rid of all these options. And we're going to go into the helper. We're going to use the system helper. And I'm going to paste in an array of states. Alright, so it's just a simple array. It uses the abbreviation as the key and then the state name as the value. Alright, so we should be able to access that back in our contacts. And now we should be able to say PHP if, I'm sorry, not if, for each okay, so we'll say for each states as key value. Okay, so the key is going to be the abbreviation, the value will be the full name. Alright, so we want to say option value equals echo key. Alright, and the actual text that's going to be shown will be the full state name. So echo value. Okay, option. Oh, we need to close this option tag and then add the ending tag. Let's see if that works. Actually, you know what? We'll do that after. Actually, you know what? Let's also change the add form. So back in index, we have the same thing here. So I'm just going to copy. This really slims down the view file, which is good. So let's just grab this and put that into our index page. Replace all this, select. Alright, and let's see if that works. So the add form should now have that as well. What's this? Line 73, parse error, label, state, what? Let's see, what file? Contacts PHP. Contacts PHP, line 73. Let's see, if contact group is equal to family. Oh, we don't have a semicolon here. Actually, no, that's not. We need the semicolon after this right here. Alright. Alright, so add contact and state. Alright, so that's not working. Huh. Okay, let's see. For each states as state, if we go to the system helper, we have states. Let me just try to let's just make sure that we can actually access it. So let's do a print R on states. Undefined variable states. Did we not include the system helper? Oh, we didn't include the init file. So we just have to add that to the top here. We have it here. So we'll just copy this. Alright, so there we go. Now we have our states. I just want to put in a select value so that Alabama is not automatically selected. So in the form, we want to go right before the for each and say option. We won't even give it a value, and then we'll say select state. There we go. All right. All right, so let's go back to the contacts PHP edit form and finish with the values. Let's see, group, address 1, 2, city, state is all set, zip code. Copy that. Zip code has the wrong placeholder. And we want to just paste that in. Zip code, and then we have notes. So it's a text area, so we can go right in here, and we don't need this value. And notes. Alright, and the last thing I want to do with this form is we need a hidden input with the contact ID. Okay, so type hidden, name ID, value, contact ID. Okay, let's save that. And I don't think anything's going to happen yet. Oh, okay. Yes, it did. Huh. So you can see that it pulled in all the user's information. Actually, it's not pulling in the group or state. Let's check that out. Okay, we'll start with the group. If contact group equals family, let's just check these values in MySQL. Contacts, and let's see. Oh, contact group is the name of it. That's why. So this should be contact underscore group. Oops, get rid of that one. Okay, I'm just going to copy this and that there. Alright, and let's see if that does anything. Okay, business, John Doe's business. This isn't closing. I remember I had this problem before. We just get to add a line in our script. So let's open up script.js, and I'm just going to add in a close function here. Okay, so basically we're just saying when this class is clicked on, we're going to use the foundation API and just close the reveal modal. Okay, so if we save that, reload. Okay, now we can close it, and you can see contact group. Actually, yeah, contact group friends. So that's working. State is the one that's not. Let me just check that. So state, we have mass for all of them, and I think I know why we didn't actually add the code to select it. So back in contacts.php, we want down here at states, we can do what I was going to do before with the selected. So in the option after the value, after the closing quote of value, we're going to just say PHP echo selected. Alright, and up here we're going to say PHP if, we want to say if key, which is the abbreviation, is, if key is equal to contact state. Whoops. Alright, if key is equal to contact state, then selected is equal to the text selected. Alright, and then we're going to say else selected is going to equal nothing. Alright, so that should do it. Reload. Let's do edit, and Wyoming is selected. Huh. Oh, it looks like I used a double equals here and I shouldn't have. So let's do that. That should fix it. Reload. Edit, and Massachusetts is selected. Alright, so we've pulled everything into the form. Next we need to make it so that we can submit it and it will do an SQL update. Alright, and then we also need to create the delete functionality. So I'm going to stop this video here and we will do that in the next one.